300 episodes. I don't know that I ever really expected to say those words out loud. And certainly when we started Coffee Breaks with Steve now going on 7 years ago, I certainly could not have imagined 300 episodes, but that's where we're at today. We're celebrating. We're going to have some fun today, and we want you to be a part of it. So put on the brakes, grab a cup of coffee, and join the conversation, because it's time for the 300th episode of Coffee Breaks with Steve. Well, welcome to Coffee Breaks with Steve. I, of course, am Steve, and this is the show where we come together around our virtual coffee table each week, as we've been doing for 299 episodes prior to this. We joined the conversation to chat about interesting topics with amazing guests. If you are joining us for the first time today, welcome. And if you've been with us before, certainly welcome back. You are part of our Brew Crew. Hey, this is a special episode today. We are celebrating 300 episodes, and it's also going to be our final show of 2025, as we're going to be taking a couple of weeks off for the holidays. So before we go any further, I want to bring on our guest co-hosts for the day, who have been with us so many times and have hosted this show on numerous occasions over the past 300 episodes. So bringing Karissa and Chelan onto the stage here. Welcome to both of you. And it's so much fun to be able to be here and celebrate 300 episodes with the two of you, because you have been so much a part of keeping the show running, of making sure that we do have interesting topics, amazing guests, and have hosted on multiple occasions together, individually, with me, with other people. Against me versus me, with sometimes
as you,
yes, as me, sometimes with cats and or other creatures of note lingering around. So it's a lot of fun to be here. I think as we get started, we're going to be talking about the our sweet and savory here in a few minutes, and I'm going to let the chat go on to the stage here. We're, by the way, for all of you out there, you know that we've been wanting to make sure that we're sharing the chat on the screen so everybody can keep track on both Facebook and YouTube. And there have been some formatting issues with that as we've been trying to do that, because we're sometimes covering up people's faces and stuff. So we're testing a different layout today that we hope will allow us to continue to keep the comments and chats up there, because we want you, our Brew Crew, out there in the chat to be an active part of what we are doing today. And thank you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. We want you to be active with us today. And let me see who's out here that we can say hello to. I also want to remind you, as we're getting started, that we welcome your participation, but we do, as we just put up here, we do monitor and moderate the comments. And so we do ask that they stay relevant, that they stay respectful and appropriate to the show today. Just want to say, we see out here, Kim Baker, good meowing afternoon and happy Catterday. You did make it. You were on here right away this morning.
He's here right on time today.
Right on time. Carla is here. Rick is here. See, Marshall McCoy.
Hi, Marshall.
Good to welcome you to Coffee Breaks with Steve. Would love to know how you heard about us and where you're signing in from.
Who told you about us?
Yeah, who told you about us? But we're looking forward to a fun time here today. We do invite you to participate in the chat. If you are signing in, do say hello and let us know that you are here. And when we get to our fun time today, we want you to be a part of what is going on. Hey, I do want to share the sweet and savory, or Chelan, the
charcuterie.
The charcuterie. So we're gonna go ahead and put that out here and share a few things that are going on that I thought were pretty interesting, and I hope you will as well. We also, because we're going to be taking some holiday time, when we get to our birthdays, we're actually going to be sharing some going into the first part of next year. They got a few birthdays to celebrate. But the first thing, of course, is that tomorrow at 7:03 a.m. Pacific time, and just that for wherever you're signing in from, is the winter solstice. It is the official start of the winter season, and it's the shortest day of the year. And when we say shortest day of the year, Karissa, unfortunately, that does not mean less than 24 hours. It just means...
Dang it.
I know. It does mean, however, that it will be the day with the least number of hours/minutes of sunlight.
Dang it.
I know, the shortest daylight day of the year. And then the good part is, the good news is that as we get past December 21st, little by little, the days start to get longer. So we're going to, it's just weird.
We'll be on the upswing after that.
On the upswing, but it's always a little bit strange to me that, you know, I look outside at 4:30 in the afternoon, especially on an overcast day. It's like, oh, it's dark out there. My porch light came on automatically.
It was funny this morning because I had my alarm set for 7, believe it or not. And Jason was like, why is your alarm set so early? I was like, it's 7 o'clock. He said, why is it so dark outside?
Yeah.
I thought it was 4 a.m.
Well, so does winter solstice get started with sunrise?
Yeah, it starts at sun up to sundown is like it. That's when it starts because
that's
it counts
the
hours.
Well, it was a midnight thing.
No, it's actually, although it is tied to oftentimes to the sunrise, what it's actually based on, you know, that the Earth. Okay, we're going to get into science here. Did you know that we were going to have a scientific and physics based? By the way, this will lead into something else that I want to mention, but the Earth doesn't sit on its axis straight up and straight down relative to the sun. It sits at a slight angle because we're a little bit. As Earthlings are a little bit off. We're leaning a bit, and so as we move around the sun, we stay at that same angle, which means that in the summer months, the northern hemisphere is tilted more toward the sun, and in the winter months, when we're on our winter side of the sun, we are tilted more. We're tipsy. That's right, Kim. The northern hemisphere is more away from the sun, so we get less sunlight. So it is at that point in our orbit around the sun when we are at that point of being furthest away in terms of the tilt. But the other reason that's an interesting thought. What was that?
I'm going to write this down. Say that all again.
Start over.
Start over. Can you speak slowly and give me technical data to support this?
And a presentation, please.
Yeah, can we do a PowerPoint on this? The other thing that's coming up this week, we get past the solstice, and then we know what next Thursday is, right?
Yay.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
The thing that I said tied in was, if you stop and think about it, this is another scientific thing, Chelan, so get ready to take notes. That the Earth, we divide up the Earth. There's not actually, by the way, if you're like at the space station and you're looking down at Earth, you don't see all the little lines that separate countries.
Yeah,
and
no, those aren't there.
The latitude and longitude lines.
The lines aren't there? Where did they go?
It's like when you're watching a football game on the TV, those lines they put there, not really there.
That person who moves the lines for the football game, they are busy.
They're busy. Well, think about the people who have to do that for Earth with latitude and longitude or walking around. Hi, Kathy Garlick. The longitude lines, the ones that go from the top to the bottom of the Earth, we'll say, actually are separated every 15 degrees of the 360. And those actually are also what delineate time zones.
Right.
Every 15 degrees is how we separate time zones. But if you think about it, if you're like here in the United States, you go to another longitude, and we sometimes use, state lines and other things to kind of vary that to make it practical. But basically, those longitude lines separate the time zones. So an hour of difference per longitude. Now, as you get up to the North Pole, what happens to those longitude lines?
They all connect. There's no time.
Which is, if you think about, where does Santa Claus live?
in the
He's
North
up at the
Pole.
North Pole.
So he is not bound by time, which is part of what allows him to cover the entire Earth. He's going from the North Pole, and he carries that magic of the time portal
So
that exists. So he can get all over the place.
He's an alien.
He just keeps crossing back over the North Pole as he's going, and it's like time doesn't matter.
Somebody spilled Santa all over the place.
He's spilling Santa all over the dang place. Anyway, I just thought that scientific fact about Santa Claus primarily was what I wanted.
I'm 40 years old and I just found this out today. This is ridiculous.
There's some things that we don't try to explain to the kids. We just tell them Santa Claus is magic. But if we tried to explain all the longitude stuff to kids, their brains would explode. And we just don't need that. We don't need explosions. Hey, here's one that I it's interesting as we're starting to now see some things change. Like, for instance, now at TSA in most airports, you don't have to take off your shoes anymore. Right. They're making some of the things that you can take through there's been a little more, speaking of longitude and latitude, a little more latitude by the TSA. Did you know that some airports are now going back to permitting people who do not have a boarding pass to go to the gates to greet or drop off their travelers? Yay! Oakland is the most recent one to do this.
Wow.
If you stop and think about it, for going back since post 9/11, when TSA was formed, airports became strictly that getting through security. Used to be you could get through and just meet people at the gate, or you could go drop them off. But since 9/11, they meant basically you had to see people off, either drop them off at the curb, you could see them as far as the security lines, and then that was it. And Oakland's airport has just announced a program that lets non-passengers go through security to walk loved ones to the gate or pick them up. You apply online in advance, get TSA approval, show your ID, and suddenly you're back on the other side of security, just like the old days. Oakland isn't alone. Airports in places like Cleveland, San Antonio, Kansas City, Philadelphia, and Detroit have rolled out similar passes with fun names like Hangout Pass and Wingmate Pass.
All fun.
Online, travelers are loving it. People are reminiscing about meeting grandparents at the gate, watching planes take off as a family, or just going to the airport to hang out. One person said, "Now you say goodbye and walk half a mile alone." That one hits home. Mm-hmm. No, it's not permanent everywhere yet, and airports can stop the program or pause it at any time. But still, it feels like a small step back towards the kind of connection and the kinds of abilities that we used to have. It's kind of nice to see a little bit of humanity getting back to boarding planes again. So I think that's kind of fun, and hopefully we'll see that start to spread to more and more of the airports. It has been nice to not.
Funny
have to
how
take
much
off
you
your
miss
shoes.
things. You don't realize you miss stuff like that until it's like we're gonna get back.
Well, and stop and think about it, that there's an entire generation, the young people who are college age and even a little bit older now and younger, have never known what it's like, other than when they were little. Like, I can still get a gate pass to pick up or drop off like younger grandkids who are traveling alone. But you can't, that's kind of still also at the airline and TSA's discretion. You still have to pass through those and get those. Busy airports might have a hard time accommodating. There's already barely enough chairs for people waiting for their plane at their gate. Yeah, that's true, Kim. And I think part of it is, if you're going to the gate when I go to pick up or drop off grandkids, I'm not usually sitting, I'm pacing. Yeah. I'm sitting with them if we're dropping off and there's room to sit. I'm sitting with them until then, but we can also wait to, once we've gotten through security, there's usually some place to sit and get a snack or something before you get to the gate itself, and wait and get to the gate when we're closer to boarding time. But it's still nice to think that I could pick up an adult potentially or drop them off if I wanted to, all the way to the gate.
Thinking of when we were kids and Mom snuck us on a plane.
Well, she didn't sneak us. She got tickets. We didn't know we were going.
We didn't know. So she snuck us all the way to the gate and into the line to get on the plane with an excuse that we were picking up a coworker of hers before, and then she hands these tickets to the gate lady. We're like, what are we? She's like,
Where are
we're
we
going
going?
on a trip.
Yeah.
We're going on a trip.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to do that now.
Well, I was thinking
No.
about when Matilde came, how scary it would be for an exchange student to come
Yes.
through
Well,
customs, through all that by yourself, and not have somebody at the gate to meet you. Like, we were able to all be there and get her right out of customs.
And I think what they have done, in situations like that, it maybe have been possible for one family member to get a gate pass and meet her at the gate, or you would just have an airline representative escorting her all the way down through, to baggage claim for the meeting.
That would be so much less fun.
Yeah, it was such a difference to be able to do it that way. Hey, we do have some birthdays I want to mention coming up this week and actually into the new year, because we're going to be taking a break for the holidays. We don't want to miss these. The first one is Cody Jordan, hey, your friend Chelan, Cascade Cody, musician who has appeared on this show, a Pacific Northwest based musician, singer, songwriter, just a fun individual, a cool guy, and he's celebrating a birthday this next week on the 27th. So happy birthday to Cody.
Happy birthday, Cody.
That's right. Jerry Zetterval, dear friend and friend of the show, has been on the show as well, celebrating a birthday on December 28th. I think it's always, growing up must have always been tough to have your birthday so close to Christmas. And I know some families that dealt with that by really making a big deal out of it. I know you do that, Karissa, with Carson.
A separate party in the summertime for her just to kind of offset stuff.
And we celebrate it when you guys come for Christmas, because hers is just a week before. Also, my cousin, Christy McKay, who lives here in Idaho, not that far from where we live, celebrating a birthday on January 3rd, right after the new year, just barely gets into the new year and celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, Christy. Corianne Woodard, another member of our Brew Crew, is often here in the chat, is celebrating a birthday on January 6th. And then finally, Kenny Snyder, musician, also has been a guest on this show, but a friend for many years, a singer, songwriter, pastor, is celebrating a birthday on January 8th. And so happy birthday as well to Kenny. Do you have a special day, not only this week, but maybe coming up between now and the first part of January, that we want to be able to acknowledge and celebrate with you? You can put that in the chat right now. Maybe it's a birthday, maybe it's an anniversary or some other special day that you're going to be celebrating. We want to make sure that we can celebrate with you. If you've got a special day coming up anytime in 2026 that you want to make sure we get on our calendar so that when the right time comes, we can celebrate with you, you can send us an email at cbwsteve@comcast.net. We will make sure to capture that information, and get it on our calendar so that we can indeed celebrate with you. Hey, I want to move us on, and again, happy birthday and special days to everybody who's celebrating. I want to get us to the special game that we're going to be playing today. And Karissa, you're going to be moderating the game. So I don't know if you want to explain a little bit about what we're going to be doing and how this is going to work and how we want the audience, the Brew Crew here in the chat, to participate.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, you do your best.
You do that. We're going to be playing holiday hot takes. So we're going to spin a wheel and a hot take is going to come up. And Steve and Chelan are going to be debating this against each other. So one of them will be for it and one will be against the hot take. And then the chat, you guys can put your thoughts in the chat as well. But then at the end of the round, we're going to do, what did we say? We said a minute or 2 minutes to debate.
We said somewhere between 2 minutes maximum. So what I think we said, if I'm remembering correctly, is we will switch off each time and you'll remind us who is defending whatever the topic is and who is going to be speaking against it. And then after the person speaks against it, the person who first presented will have an opportunity to give one final brief 30-second rebuttal. And then I think we're asking our Brew Crew to weigh in and tell us who won that particular debate. And we're going to spin the wheel. It's going to be random and it's different topics. Chelan and I don't know what the topics are. We don't know what we'll be debating and who will be assigned. And we're going to switch off who's assigned. Karissa will tell us at the beginning.
Now,
so
some of the these hot takes, some people might feel very passionately about. So just remember, if you're participating in the chat, keep it respectful. You can have your feelings, but
yeah, keep it respectful always.
Don't be mean to each other.
All right. So to begin with, on the first one, do you want to wait till you spin it, or do you want to let us know ahead of time who
Steve,
is?
you're gonna defend first.
Okay, and
so
Chelan
Steve is defending first, and Chelan will argue against.
All right.
Are we ready?
So and you guys at home should be able to see the wheel and see what's coming up.
Can't.
Yeah, let us know if you cannot.
Last time I tried to share it didn't work, but
that's all right. I think we've got it this time. All right, let us begin.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
No.
All right,
this is my emotional support kitten. I don't do debates.
First of all, on your team. All right, so the first hot take. Christmas season does not begin until December 1st.
All right, so I'm going to be speaking in support of that statement.
That it cannot start until December 1st.
You know, I strongly believe, am I beginning?
Go.
I strongly believe that we need to separate our holidays. And when we get into the last quarter of the year, there are just so many important days that we need to recognize. We've got, Halloween, we've got Veterans Day, we've got Thanksgiving, just among the many. And if we get too early starting and overlapping, it's already very troubling when you go into the mall or you go into the store and you're just trying to focus on an autumn holiday. You're just trying to focus on Halloween. You're just trying to focus on Thanksgiving. And there is such an overwhelming amount of Christmas decor and an overwhelming push for that it can actually cause stress. It can actually be disillusioning for the Christmas holiday. And by the time we get to December, it already feels like we should just be past it. And so I am very much in favor of waiting until December 1st before we begin celebrating the Christmas season.
Chelan, your argument.
Well, paper to write things down. My argument is that Christmas is it has become at least more than a day, more than decor. It is a feeling that you carry with you. It is a choice that you make throughout the year. Muppet Christmas Carol has taught us this, that Christmas is, right, you carry it with you in your hearts. And I think who would dare to challenge Muppet Christmas Carol? And I also would want to know what we are defining this as of, okay, the Christmas season begins, but does that mean music doesn't get to be played, Christmas style music? Because I am a proud American for free speech, and I say that you should be able to play Christmas music whenever you please. God bless America. I think that's it.
All right, Steve, you have 1 minute to rebut.
I think that what you say only has merit insofar as when we carry something in our heart, it doesn't have to come out of our mouth and it doesn't have to be displayed all over the place. That we can carry something in our heart and let it stay, the spirit stay in our heart without it being displayed all over the place.
Okay, so chat, you guys get to put in your feelings. Who won this round? Do you think Steve successfully presented his case that the Christmas season does not begin until December 1st? Or do you think that Chelan made a good argument for it being open to any time of the year?
And may I just add, for the sake of the argument, that we're not saying, do you agree or disagree?
Just who won the argument?
Who won the debate?
I'm going to get a timer. I forgot to grab a timer.
All right. Because I will tell you the truth. That was a hard one for me to speak against because I'm one of those people who does play the Christmas music year round.
That's what's so funny about it.
I know. Yeah, thank you for making me defend the idea that it doesn't start till December 1st because I was really
it was random. It was random. I had no idea. That was funny. I think that's why Chelan was laughing too. Is like, of course he has to be the one. All right.
Hey, my siblings are with me on this.
But they don't necessarily agree.
No, neither do I necessarily, but that was fun to try to come up with I remember going back in school to having to do debates And you had to sometimes defend an idea that you were
Yeah, that you
completely
didn't
opposed
agree
to
with.
personally.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, that was round one.
Now, so this time we're switching off. The
So
next time we're
Chelan.
switching off. All right.
Chelan will be defending the hot take, and Steve will be arguing against it. Let's see what
Okay.
Chelan has to defend here. Every gift should include a gift receipt. Chelan, defend the arguments.
You know, when you're buying for someone else, you don't always know all of the things that they have at their disposal, what their deepest needs are. I think of that episode of MASH where the one guy gave all the orphans desserts and then got very upset when it turned out that they had sold those lovely desserts for like turkey and other more like dinner things, and then come to find out the kids didn't have basic food, and so a dessert would be not as appropriate for them, right? So you don't always know what people need. Sometimes we don't even know what people want, or maybe what they're trying to give up, right? You can get a lovely gift for somebody and a lovely bottle of champagne, and then come to find out that they are a recovering alcoholic, and that becomes a really awkward place for them to sit, of having to keep the, like, they wouldn't be able to get additional anything for themselves out of that gift that maybe was given with the intent of them. It was given with the intent of them to be able to have something additional in their lives, right? And so you may be giving them something that they cannot use. And I think you should give them the opportunity and the freedom to go and exchange that for something that really will be useful and valuable to them without getting offended. Like, don't get offended about gifts. I understand that was your best go. We've all been there and it just has landed flat. Allow for the freedom for someone to change it up if they need to.
All right. And what is the argument?
Well, in spite of my esteemed colleagues' points, I would just like to point out a couple of things that I think should be taken into consideration. Number one, most gifts can be exchanged with or without a receipt. There are ways to go about doing that, and most retailers will accept either a cash exchange or a credit exchange with or without a receipt. And to me, the idea of a gift receipt is almost implying that you think the recipient will want to exchange the gift. You're almost saying, I got you something, but I don't even know if it's something you're going to want to keep. So here's a gift receipt so you can take it back and get something you really wanted. So it's, in a way, it's kind of a backhanded compliment to provide that. The other thing that I think is relevant here is that many people, particularly in this day and age, are moving away from purchased gifts towards something that is handmade, something that is home crafted. And the idea there is, how are you going to even provide a gift receipt for something you made yourself? You're going to put some kind of certificate in there saying, hey, if you didn't like this, send it back to me and we can exchange it for something you really like. So I don't believe that a gift receipt is either necessary or in many cases appropriate.
Chelan, you have a 1 minute rebuttal.
So I will say that we'll start with the end first. The homemade gifts, I have been the recipient at times and been the one gifting many times. Don't cut to Carla. It's going to be distracting. That I have gifted something that I've made my own self and then allowed the opportunity of, if this doesn't work, tell me what does. I don't see that as an insult. I see that as a partnership and as really taking the other person's feelings into account. Don't you agree, Percival Sea Kitten? The other thing, so you said it could be a backhanded compliment. I don't understand that. I think it's gifting freedom. It's saying, you know you better than I know you, which I think most of us would say is accurate, and allowing for the freedom. The other thing is, I don't think most places really do allow for exchanging things if there's not a receipt anymore. I think you're lying.
And time. Who won that round, chat? Put it in the comments who you think won that round. Do you think that Steve
Okay, if Dad will
successfully argued? What do you think, chat? Let us know. I should be keeping track of points.
I know. I want to know what the prize is at the end of this.
Yeah.
My company for New Year's.
Okay. All right.
So you both win.
A copy of Carissa's solid gold head on a stick.
No, a solid gold bust of my head or a bust of my solid gold head?
Solid. I'm into solid gold today, as you can see from the background on the screen in my shirt. So
the solid gold. All right, chat. Who won?
They refused to say because it was that close.
That was a good one. I think that was an interesting one. Well, do you want to go ahead while they're filling that in? We can spin for the next one.
All right, let's find out. So now this time, Chelan, you are defending the hot take.
No, I'm starting this time.
Oh, wait, you're starting. See, I've already lost track of who's starting.
That's right. That's right.
We have to keep track with you. I may regret that depending on. Uh-oh.
All right. Regifting is environmentally responsible.
All right.
All right.
So,
go ahead.
First of all, the concept of regifting is really tied in very much to the concept of recycling. It is saying that we don't simply toss aside things that may not any longer be usable or that we may not be finding an appropriate use for. And regifting is really the best kind of love. It's saying that this gift that I am taking, that was given to me and I'm passing along, is really a type of paying it forward. It is saying that this is something special that I appreciate enough that I want to make sure someone else also has the opportunity to appreciate it. And so I am very much in favor of the concept of regifting. It is better than having something just gather dust in a back room because you're not going to use it. And it is better than throwing something away that still has a lot of potential use for it.
Chelan, your response?
Oh, can't hear you. You're on mute.
As a closet Oregonian, I will say that being environmentally responsible is very near and dear to my heart. I will say that I find it is inappropriate to regift, particularly if you're going to do it, you have to do it really carefully. And at some point, there has to be something else entering the flow of giftage, right? I think it's interesting, Steve, that you brought up something not gathering dust, because really that's the way around the gift receipt. And really what you seem to be promoting is the gift return without the gift receipt, which seems to go against what you were previously stating. And I'm a little confused by your flip so quickly in your stance.
Steve, your rebuttal?
Well, first of all, I think that my esteemed opponent is trying to add confusion to the situation by bringing up a topic that is no longer relevant. But I would also add that I think in this, particularly as we are becoming more and more aware of global warming, we need to be conscious in every circumstance about an opportunity to do something that will be beneficial to the environment, and regifting should be at the top of that list.
I don't believe in global warming.
Global warming doesn't exist.
All right, not while I'm sipping, please.
I win no matter what they vote. She
wins no matter what you guys say. Chelan wins this round. Chat, let us know who you think won that round. I think we got consensus on the previous round. Steve won that round. So let us know.
I don't know. That was mixed. It seemed mixed. There were some mixed responses there, but
I don't know. I think I got a lot of Stevens.
Yeah, but there was a Stephen Lost up there too. I'm not gonna name Carla. Names who put that.
I'll say it, Carla.
Always the middle child who does stuff like that.
We're like that as middle children. All right, let's go on to the next hot take while the chat debates in their own brains who won this round.
All right.
Ooh, this is one of my favorites.
Oh, all right.
Stockings always come before the Christmas tree. All right, and it's Chelan starting this one, correct?
Chelan starting.
All right, so what I will say is I feel like the stockings, I'll pitch it to the audience. The stockings are typically the introductory gifts, right? They're typically the smaller gifts. They're typically the cute and cozy traditional candies or things that's like, oh, Father always includes anchovies, and that's going to be in the stocking. That's not going to be wrapped under the tree. And so I feel like as an introductory component, that should come first. That is the beginning of the gifting, getting everybody into the mood and the spirit. If you were to do the large gifts or the more substantial gifts and then move to the stockings, I feel like it puts you out of sync with the day. And it's like a downer, and you don't want that on Christmas. You don't want that on Christmas.
Steve, your response?
Well, I think that we need to put this in perspective. We think about stockings. When you're getting dressed, do you put your stockings on first or do you put them on last? I think that sometimes we get into a certain pattern and a certain mode, and without any longer thinking independently, we begin to do things just because that's the way it's always been done. And we don't think about whether that pattern is really appropriate, constructive, or necessary. And I think that we need to focus on what's appropriate and necessary, because it helps us recall that I don't put anchovies in the stockings, I put sardines in there. And so if we can't even keep our facts straight about what goes in the stocking, it's really hard to understand why the stockings need to come first.
Oh my God, Chelan, your rebuttal.
This battle that we've been fighting for ages of tradition versus innovation. And I think we are really riding a very dangerous line to remove tradition for the sake of innovation without counting the cost. And I think it's bold of you to assume, you're saying putting on the socks last, bold of you to assume I ever take them off.
This is my favorite debate I've ever watched. I love this. All right, chat, please let us know who won.
Why sardines? And Carla says, why
Carla,
sardines?
why not?
Why anchovies?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, it was a thing for a long time. Every now and then he still throws them in there. Still get them
The
sometimes.
chocolate ones.
All right.
All right, we're moving on to the next hot take.
Moving on
Matt,
to
let
the
us
next
know
hot
who
take.
you think won that round. Oh my gosh, that was a funny one.
You're not helping, kitten.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, it rolled over. All right.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
All right.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And Steve, you are
Yes.
up.
Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie. And I think that we start by giving a broader picture. Any movie that includes a focus seasonally around Christmas is appropriately a Christmas movie. Die Hard falls into that category. Most chick flicks as well fall into that category. If you think about just about every chick flick that has ever been shown, that has ever been produced, there is at least one Christmas scene, if not a major focus around Christmas. Would you watch it at the Christmas season? Absolutely. Is it appropriate to watch it at the Christmas season? Absolutely. So let's come back to Die Hard specifically. When is Die Hard set? What time of year is Die Hard set? What's taking place in this building during the movie? It's a Christmas celebration. It's a Christmas party. Bruce Willis is the epitome of the Santa Claus anti-terrorist. He is Santa Claus in the form of the rescuer. And as we all know, Santa Claus in and of himself rescues us from our own downtimes. That's why Santa Claus comes at Christmas. This holy season of the year where we celebrate Jesus' birth, Santa Claus comes so that we don't have to be down. And Bruce Willis. All right, I feel like Chelan may have had a cat interruption to her entire connection here.
I want to know.
Not yet, but I will finish this by just saying, if you feel like Die Hard is a movie that you would put on at the Christmas season because it focuses around Christmas, then there is no longer any debate that it is indeed a Christmas movie. Chelan, your picture is
Chelan,
frozen.
are you
I don't know
there?
if your cat, yeah, I don't know if her cat actually
Did
took
your
her
cat
completely
broke
out
things?
of the mix, or
I can hear her.
did
What
the
happened?
cat mess up your camera or what?
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you now.
It's just
You can hear me?
we can hear you, but your face is
yes,
frozen.
the cat jumped on my computer and hit a button. That's so funny. He logged me out of my computer.
Well, you're still connected
it's freaking
here
out.
by voice. If you need to go out and come back in, we can
wait, there she
reconnect
is.
you. Oh, you're back.
Good
You're
job,
back with
Percival.
us.
Did you see my face go?
We saw your
Yeah,
face.
and then
go,
your face,
and
and
then
then
the
your
cat
face
went-
froze in an interesting
Percival,
position.
hold on,
Are
I'll
you
put it
prepared
out
to
of the
rebut?
call.
Are you prepared to argue against Die Hard being a Christmas movie?
I didn't hear everything, but I am prepared, I believe. Even without hearing all of your arguments, I feel that the argument is clear. So I
right.
will continue if that is all right by
ahead.
you. I think what is at stake here is the definition of a Christmas movie, right? You're defining it as anything that has any Christmas scene whatsoever becomes a Christmas movie.
Amen.
I would take you back to the 1995 movie, The Santa Claus, starring Tim Allen, of Santa showing up in a Panzer is not how Christmas should be handled. So just the fact that they said it at Christmas time, it is not about the true meaning of Christmas. It is not about celebrating the joy of Christmas, the birth of Christ, anything that is truly Christmas. It's about a man falling off of Namataki Tower or whatever, and lots of swearing and guns. And I love action movies. I do think that Die Hard has been utilized as an excuse to make more Christmas action movies, and they never hit. They never hit the way that the classics do.
Steve, your rebuttal.
It would be nice if everyone's experience at Christmas time was just about Jesus or just about Santa Claus. But the reality is that many people do face acts of terrorism around the Christmas season. And I think that having movies like Die Hard remind us that when those things occur, there are people like Bruce Willis around who can save us from that.
All right, chat.
Representation. You're going for the representation.
We're going for representation card. Represent everybody.
Diversity.
All right.
It's an allegory.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. We've got time for a couple more, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go for it. Let's see what the next one is.
Let's see what the future brings.
We kind of discussed.
Oh, we talked.
Earlier.
Okay,
Yes,
this is interesting.
December birthdays deserve a separate gifts. All right.
I was just having this conversation.
Oh,
You go for it. Yep.
Go for it, Chelan.
I was just having this discussion with a coworker the other day whose child has a birthday directly on Christmas. And I asked, how do you handle that? And she said, it's been very important to us. And this is what I've heard from all parents and children December birthdays, is to keep them separate. I have not heard a single family condone the idea of merging them. There is a separation that is important to showcase to the child, yes, Jesus gets a birthday and so do you, right? So they actually, I thought this was brilliant. They decorate their kitchen with birthday stuff, the rest of the house Christmas. They start the morning with Christmas activities in the living room and then move to the dining room for birthday celebration and a cake for the child, and and I thought that was a brilliant way to celebrate both events and both birthdays on the one day. I think it's similar to, you have to have, I think, the consent of the child if you're going to do combined birthday and make them still feel that they are part of that and special and seen. And I think that's very important at a child's level of maturity.
Steve, your response?
Well, I think that kids need to grow up with a reality check. You don't always get to have extra special days just because your birthday tends to fall Do we say that if a child's birthday is around Halloween, they get an extra trick or treat? Do we say that if a child's birthday is around Easter, they get to go for a separate Easter egg hunt? No. And I think that we should not be making an exception just because Christmas happens to fall in December. Let's use Jesus as our example. When Jesus was born, he didn't get both a birthday and Christmas. Okay. When the three wise men came and presented gold, frankincense, and myrrh, our indication is that was to celebrate his birthday. That was his birthday gift. That was his birthday party. And so I think that if we start to spoil kids by giving them extra days just because their birthday happens to fall in December, we're setting them up to think that every time there is something that corresponds with their birthday, and that other kids, how are we leaving out kids who have birthdays at other times of the year that are near a holiday? We're creating a precedent that becomes dangerous.
Chelan, your rebuttal.
I have no words, but I will say these words that I wrote down. Are you saying that Jesus could have been spoiled and therefore undermining the divinity of God? I don't feel I need to say anything else. But also, I don't know any kids. I'm going to say this else. I don't know any kids who have a birthday around Easter who get an extra Easter egg. What is that? They'll have a birthday party. They'll have a birthday party and separately the Easter egg hunt, and that separation is maintained. Thank you.
Mic drop. All right, Chad, let us know who you think won this round.
Jesus, dude.
Mic
So
drop.
good.
All right, Steve, how much more time do we have?
We have time for at least one more here,
Okay.
and then we'll close out.
Because
We are running extra. I mentioned this in
We're
the
doing
chat.
an hour-long
Today's is
day.
an hour-long show because of our special celebration for those.
All right, let's go for at least one more. Let's see what we got here. Up. I was hoping we would get this one. Eggnog should be a year-round beverage.
I'm defending this, right?
You are defending this one. And lucky you.
There is nothing in the words egg or nog that says one time of year. All right. Egg. Do we have egg year round? You betcha. Nog. I don't even know what the word means, but there's nothing about it that rhymes with December. In fact, you will find more and more that many of the stores are putting eggnog in their shelf much, much earlier than the Christmas season. They put them out there by the time we get to October. I'm seeing eggnog on the shelf. I've even seen eggnog on the shelves around the Easter season, which is in the spring. And the bottom line to eggnog is that flavor is just as good no matter what month or what season of the year it is. Also, I am a huge fan personally of eggnog, and I feel very slighted that by the time we're getting to New Year's, it's being pulled off the shelves. I've just acquired that taste in my mouth again for that luscious, smooth, going down the gullet beverage, and I need that throughout the year to be happy.
Chelan, your response?
Secondly, I feel that there are certain flavors that are institutional to the holidays. Nothing stops you from going out and making your own eggnog at any time of the year should you choose to accept that mission. But there is certainly, I think the fact is that it's not out year round because there isn't a demand for it. Peppermint mochas. Peppermint is definitively a Christmas flavor. Peppermint and chocolate. It used to be that was very much around the holidays, but people decided that they wanted it year round, and therefore the dollars drove the industry. I think your problem isn't with the people putting it on the shelves, not putting it on the shelves. It's the fact that your peers are not spending the money needed to make that a valuable business decision to keep it on the shelves year round. And in the meantime, I think you're just going to have to make it yourself.
Steve, your response?
Well, I think that Chelan has essentially defended my point because nothing about her argument said that eggnog as an institutional beverage should not be available year round. She defended the idea that it could be homemade. She defended the idea that it is often driven by economy, but nothing about what she said indicated that that could not be something that is available throughout the year. And so I stand by my original argument that it should be and could be available to us year round.
All right, chat, let us know who won that round.
I think we have time for one final one so that we end
Throw
with
one more
equal
in.
number of rounds here, and then we'll close
Throw
out
one
our,
more
our
number
session.
in. Let's go.
Cats are chaos demons. Defend.
That cat definitely is. Here's another hot topic. Gift cards are the most thoughtful gift. They're the most thoughtful gift. Chelan, this is you.
I feel that gift cards, again, we're coming right back to the very first argument of the day. It's allowing freedom. You are gifting the American dream of freedom, right? To those that you are gifting a gift card to, because you have an understanding that anyone should be able to choose for themselves the best gift. Now, I love receiving gifts from people, but if they're people that don't know me very well, I would actually prefer a gift card over putting things on a list and getting items directly off that list. There's no surprise in that. There's no adventure in that. I find it more boring than a gift card. The possibilities, it's like the possibilities with a blank piece of paper, right? Before you ever start writing on, it's the same kind of excitement and endorphin rush to receive that gift card. And I think it has been demonized unfairly over the years.
Okay, Steve, your response?
I think gift cards are an absolute cop-out. The idea of presenting a gift card in lieu of taking the time to really understand the wants, the needs, the preferences, and personalities of the people that you are giving a gift to. If you can't take the time to really understand what is going to be most appropriate and useful for that person, then be honest about it and say, I'm not giving you a gift this year. A gift card is basically saying, I didn't think about it, I didn't take any time, and I don't really care. And so to me, a gift card is the ultimate way of telling someone that you didn't really want to give them a gift, but this was the easiest way to do it.
Chelan, your rebuttal?
I think there is something to be said for either if it comes down to, I'm not getting you a gift because I don't know what you want / need, or I'm getting you a gift card because I don't know what you want / need. One of those certainly shows more care. And that is, I still extended my finances, my time to go and however I achieved it, I still went and obtained it. And I'm giving something to you because I want to invest in you. And you may not know exactly what that piece is for them, but you are showing, I want to invest in you. And that has meaning to it. And I don't think we should be ignoring that. I think saying gift cards are a cop-out is a cop-out to not get anything at all.
Oh. All right, chat. That was the final round. Let us know who you think won that last argument about gift cards. Chelan, for somebody who doesn't like debating, you took on this role very, very well.
She did.
I have to say, you did a good.
Every day at work, I'm faking leadership skills, guys. It's been a decade. Get me out.
Get me out. Let me out of this prison.
Let me out.
I also want to say thank you to all of our Brew Crew in the chat for just continually throughout this. It's been fun to see both the arguments that they have thrown in about each one of these topics, and even just their opinions, agree or disagree with the debate, their own opinions about each of the topics that came up. So thank you to the Brew Crew for participating. Karissa, thank you for some great hot take topics. This was, and Chelan, thank you for being a worthy opponent in this debate. This has been a ton of fun. As we are getting ready to close out, as we said, we are going for
this is the only debate I consent to.
Yeah.
This is the only debate I consent to.
And again, just to, to put the disclaimer in there, for both Chelan and I, there were multiple times throughout this hot take debate that we were probably arguing for or against an actual personal opinion or choice, which is the toughest thing to do, is to say, I'm going to speak in favor of something I'm really opposed to, or speak in opposition to something that I really would be in favor of. So those are the
in our house, the stockings always come before the tree. That is the way
Absolutely.
of it.
That's the tradition that we will always stick to. Yeah. All right. Listen, I want to let you know a little bit about what's going to be coming up in the next few weeks. As we've already mentioned, we're going to be taking some time off the next couple of weeks to celebrate the holidays ourselves. As you can see, there are stockings in this picture. And
look at that.
The coffee mug in this picture is wearing a stocking or a sweater. But we will not be doing a Coffee Breaks with Steve episode on either next Saturday, December 27th, or the following Saturday, January 3rd. Those are the times that we are celebrating the holidays with family, and we just want to take the time to go ahead and do that without having anything else that we have to worry about. We want to take time for stockings and, tree and just family time and our own games. Maybe we'll play hot takes as a family. We don't know.
Yeah, I've got more of them.
We'll see.
Good one.
I do want to let you know some episodes that are going to be coming up in January that we're already getting scheduled. And one is the return of someone who's been on the show before. Sid Niemeyer was here last year when he published and made available his first ever novel, which was called Atomic Peril. And he has just published and released a new novel of the sort of same tone called On the Brink, another nuclear forensics thriller like the first one is. So Sid is going to be back in early January, our first episode back on January 10th to talk about his new book. And then, we seem to have been on a trend here. We've had several guests in the last few weeks who have come from other parts of the world and have shared their experiences there. Well, we're going to be doing that again on January 17th. This is Richard Dawson, not the game show host. This is Richard Dawson, who lives in Edinburgh, Scotland, and is a local expert about Edinburgh and about all things Scottish. Now, we recently had a laird and lady, clan laird and lady from Scotland on, who talked about their own background. And Richard is going to be here to share a little more generally, both about Edinburgh, Scotland, which is a beautiful city, and about Scottish history and traditions. You will want to be here. And again, if nothing else, just to hear the accent. It's wonderful.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, that's going to be good. We also still want to know from you, our Brew Crew, what are the topics you'd like to discuss? Who are guests you would like to see on Coffee Breaks with Steve as we move past 300 episodes, as we move towards celebrating the 7 years on the air by this next spring? We would like to hear from you. We would like you to share your ideas. You think about how many different times not only Karissa and Chelan, but many of you have been the ones who have suggested a topic, introduced us to a guest who has then joined us on the show. And those have been and always are amazing. So please be a part of that. Last thing I'm going to mention today, we have been continuing to grow our subscribers to our YouTube channel, but we could use more. Not because we're looking to pat ourselves on the back for how many people are joining us, but because it is so great to be able to reach beyond our Brew Crew. We'll always keep the Brew Crew as a central part, as a focal point of where we are having these chats and these conversations. But there are people who come in later on to watch episodes, and most of them are going to find those episodes later on YouTube, much more even than Facebook, because just the number of people who are there on each of those platforms. And we want to get our guests and our topics out to a larger audience worldwide, because we have worldwide topics. We have global influence. And the more people who are subscribed to our channel on YouTube, the more that the algorithms with YouTube will put us up at the forefront when people are doing searches. It'll pop up and people will be out there and find us. I'm not looking for fame or fortune because it's not going to happen for me. But I do want our guests and our topics to get an audience. If you are not a subscriber to our YouTube channel, would you please go there and subscribe? If you already are, would you please take the time to share that with people you know who would be benefited by being a part of our audience, who would love to see some of the guests and the topics that we have. That's my soapbox for that, and really all that probably needs to be said about it at the present time. I do want to say as we close out this episode, what's that?
I said I can't argue against that.
No, you can't. That one is not even open to debate, is it? Listen, as we conclude this episode, I want to say thank you to Karissa and Chelan for a very, very fun celebration of our 300th episode. I want to say thank you to all of you who have been here and joined in on it, and say thank you to everybody for just a fantastic year, 2025. I would encourage and invite you to stay tuned through the credits, because we're going to be recognizing everybody who has been a guest on the show this year, and a special message to all of you in the credits. So with that, I would just like to remind you, as we are in this special season of giving, that there are so many different ways that each one of us can give back, that we can pay it forward, that we can do so many things to touch lives. And so please find a way to make a difference in your world this week and every week. God bless you. Have a great holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. We'll see you next time on Coffee Breaks with Steve.